trembling all over. The man cuts the bullet in half with a dagger and pours out the usable gunpowder inside. Then the man continued to endure the -15-degree weather to collect nearby branches and break them with the gunpowder, and then picked up the dagger on the ground and started to hit the primer of the bullet. But his shivering hands couldn't hit the target, so he had no choice but to resecure the bullet and hit the dagger with a small stone. As he did so, a warm fire began to burn. In order to warm himself and to treat the wound, he quickly took off his lost coat and took his flask and put it in his mouth and poured the rest of the liquor on the wound with the help of the paralyzing effect of the alcohol. The moment the alcohol touched the wound, the pain in the wound swept through his body. After sterilizing the wound with alcohol, he endured the pain and picked up the cloth on the ground, quickly rolled it into a pile and stuffed it into his mouth and bit down on it. Then he picked up the dagger and plunged it into the wound, and soon the bullet was pried out by his foot movements. This time the pain not only made him fall to the ground, but also made him lose consciousness for a short while. Meanwhile, the bounty hunters who wanted him dead were still approaching. As the fire slowly died, Bruce woke up in the cold and realized that the enemy was approaching. He grabbed his clothes and ran deeper into the jungle. Just as Bruce left, several bounty hunters came to the campfire and looked at the footprints on the snow. They couldn't figure out which way Bruce had fled, but based on the residual bloodstains, they felt that the injured Bruce will not be able to run far. So in order to catch him faster, the bounty hunters decided to split up the action as soon as they found traces of other people to go to the support immediately. While hiding in the tree, Bruce quietly waited for the prey to take the bait, watching one of them slowly approaching Bruce. Picked up the dagger and waited for the right moment. The fat man also slowed down and stopped moving forward when he came to the tree. On the other side of the team also found something wrong, because they chased to a place where the footsteps suddenly disappeared and realized that they were being tricked. A few people immediately back to the road. Then the bounty hunter team assembled and did not find the fat man. Over, they had a feeling that something must have happened to the fat man. A few people began to look for him without saying a word, but by the time they arrived, Bruce had already escaped, leaving only Fatty's body lying under the tree. After seeing the fat man's death, Yellow Hair couldn't believe that Bruce could be so cruel, while Paul, as the captain of the team, told him that he didn't have time to think about this now, and that the key was to catch Bruce himself. He judged that Bruce must not have gone far. In order to avenge the fat man, several people mounted the old horse.